Ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly excel in sports, education, and even leadership roles? What if we tell you it all begins with the month they were born? Discover the astonishing impact of your birth month on your lifelong success. From childhood advantages to adult achievements, the story behind the relative age effect will leave you amazed. Researchers believe that a person's birth month can have an effect on a variety of factors, including their overall health and their potential for future professional achievement. Children who were born in the winter and children who were born in the summer were shown to have the most significant disparities. There are some studies that suggest that children born between the months of June and October are more likely to be taller and have greater bones than children born during the winter. This is likely related to the amount of vitamin D exposure throughout the pregnancy. Children born between the months of June and October are more likely to be taller and have bigger bones than children born during the winter. According to the findings of surveys taken from mothers who were 37 weeks pregnant, children who were born in the summer were about a half a centimeter taller than children who were born in the winter. Not only can the month in which you were born have an impact on your size, but it also has the potential to influence other aspects of your life, such as the risk that you may acquire food allergies. Babies born in the autumn and winter have a significantly higher risk of developing food allergies than other youngsters. There is some evidence that the month of birth may play a role in the development of asthma, particularly in children who are born in the autumn. People tend to spend more time indoors during the winter, which increases the likelihood that they may be exposed to higher amounts of dust mites and other allergens that are found inside. Asthma is more likely to develop in children born in the autumn because they are more likely to be exposed to allergens during their first few months of life. Vision is another characteristic that can be influenced by the month of birth. According to the findings of several studies, infants who are born in the summer have a higher risk of having nearsightedness compared to kids who are born in the winter. There is some evidence that suggests that greater sun exposure during pregnancy and in the infant's first few months of life may be to blame for this phenomenon. At the age of 26 weeks, the eyes of an unborn child first open, and even when the baby is still inside the uterus, it is able to perceive light emanating from its mother's abdomen. This video explains how the month in which you were born can impact both your physical and mental health. It is essential to keep in mind that a correlation does not always indicate a causal relationship when one is thinking about the effects that being born in a particular month may have on one's health. There is a possibility that children who are born in a particular month may have a higher risk of developing cardiovascular disease. Nevertheless, it is highly likely that the birth month is not the only factor at play here. The following is a list of health issues that have been linked to specific birth months and is provided for your reference. The risk of getting Crohn's disease, epilepsy, and Alzheimer's disease is increased during the month of January. During the month of February, there is an increased risk of dying from lung cancer. The chance of developing some type of heart disease is increased during the month of March. The month of April is associated with an increased propensity toward alcoholism and the development of eating disorders. Reduced potential for having a chronic illness during the month of May. The month of June is associated with an increased chance of acquiring eyesight issues. Autism and asthma are more likely to emerge during the month of July. The month of August is one in which a student is more likely to be categorized as a troublemaker. If you were born in September, you have a better chance of reaching the age of 100. In October, there is an increased chance of getting chest infections, STIs, and insect bites. People born in November have a higher risk of having heart disease and lung cancer and are more likely to be left-handed. And December is associated with a reduced risk of allergic reactions and asthma attacks. Your child's health isn't the only thing that can be influenced by his birth month. His education and his overall level of achievement in life can also be influenced by this factor. In most cases, schools establish a date by which children must have reached a certain age in order to participate in either academic or athletic programs. The application deadline for certain schools is the 1st of January, whereas the application deadline for others is in September. Many parents are under the impression that their child will have a greater edge over other children in their class if they are closer to the date of the cutoff than their own child. Consider the scenario of a woman who is expected to give birth on January the 3rd and is now expecting her child. There is a deadline for birthdays on January the 1st at the school where she is considering enrolling her child. Assuming the newborn was born on or after January the 1st, it is certain that he will be the oldest student in his class. However, if he comes into the world earlier than expected, he will be the youngest student in his class. There are several advantages to holding the position of oldest child in a group. One reason for this is the youngster is likely to be of greater size and have a higher level of development than other children their age. It is possible that this will have an effect on his academic achievement, and it will most certainly have an effect on his athletic performance if he chooses to participate in sports. The practice of redshirting is common among parents because there is a lot of data to imply that younger children have an advantage when compared to older children. If a kid's birth date is too close to the cutoff date for his or her grade level, the child may be held back for an additional year under this practice. If you wait an additional year before enrolling the child in school, he will no longer be the youngest student in his class, but will instead be among the oldest students. This behavior is particularly widespread among the parents of children attending kindergarten. The assumption that holding back a child in school so that he will be the oldest one in his grade will provide him with an advantage is one that is held by many parents. However, the findings of actual studies do not always support this concept. The findings of these research studies are based on factors such as test scores, school ratings, and leadership positions. There are some early studies that imply a correlation between redshirting and enhanced social and academic success. On the other hand, more recent research seems to indicate that the opposite might actually be the case. The younger students, namely those who just missed the qualification threshold, had superior performance levels than their older counterparts. Children who started school later had lower IQ scores than children who started school a year earlier when they were 18 years old, according to the findings of a study conducted in Norway that followed children born between the years of 1962 and 1988. In addition, by the time they are 30 years old, males who put off beginning their education make less money than their peers who began their education at a younger age. There is information that suggests that children born in some months have an advantage over others. It is essential to have a healthy skepticism toward everything and to recognize that the strategies that are successful for one child may not be applicable to another. When deciding whether or not to enroll your child in school earlier than his peers, it is up to you to do an evaluation of your child's individual requirements. That's all for the video today. We'll be right back with more. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching.